Hello, this is Rich Coyer, and it's about the 13th, and this is my little scroll presentation. I know some of the other students in our UU History and Polity class wanted to see what this thing looked like before I got it back at the end of the semester, so I thought I'd put this out on the web so everyone could take a look and see what it is. I decided to do something other than a notebook because I thought the interconnectedness of all the people that involved in our tradition and our heritage was important enough that you'd be able to see these things visually. I'm more of a visual thinker anyhow, so it only seemed to make sense. So let me walk you around to show you what we have here on the outside. The scroll setup is based with a couple of PVC handles that allow the wheels and the spindles to rotate. And then the wheels itself are made out of plywood, and I had an old broom that I had cut apart to make the spindles that are underneath it. This is 4 or 5 ounce cowhide on the outside, and this is just a little bit of leather lace that I'm using in order to tie them down. So after we disconnect these, and they're simply just a little slot that the little balls on the end go through, and when they come loose they just come apart and are separate from the scroll. And then the 4 ounce piece of leather wrap itself closed, even though I've only had this finished for a couple of minutes. And then this section here that where you can look at since I'm controlling the camera with one hand. Here is a section on religious tolerance in Holland, and how, if we look a little bit further back, we have the Racovian Catechism, and its second edition was given to James I, and he thought it was so atrocious that he burned it. Then around that same time we talk about religious tolerance in Poland, and then we have the Anabaptists that were in England have gone to Poland in order to escape some heresy and to also meet with their brethren that are there. And then we can see there, over here we have the founding of the Plymouth colony, and then we can see also the death of Charles I, the death of Charles I here. If we take a look at a different section of it, excuse me while I get it unrolled, you can see here the year at the top. Then down below we have the Socinians, and then we have the Racovia press that was destroyed. And then down here below we can see that from the Massachusetts Bay Colony Foundation, we have the foundation of Harvard. So this is just a very small section of it. There are some other pieces of it that are a whole lot busier than any part of it anywhere else. And if I can get it unrolled here, I can show you some of that. For example, here is a section where we can see all of the events. We have at the top is the 5 Unitarian opponents that were executed when Sigismund came to power. This is Sigismund II. And then how Sigismund used that in order to consolidate his power. And then through a series of events here, we can see how Andrew Sigismund was given the power, so then that way his brother could leave as a coward because of the invading forces from the Holy Roman Empire. And you can see that he quickly died in battle, which is the middle diamond that we're looking at. And then after that, Sigismund had to return because he was not sure what his plan that he had made with the Holy Roman Empire was actually going to turn out. And then from there we can see the section where there were the battles that the Skellics had, and then Bassa, who was the leader of the Holy Roman Empire, was forced out. And then there are certainly other busier sections throughout this entire scroll. So that's a little presentation here. I'm going to wrap this thing up, and I'm going to get on the web so the rest of you can see it. So thanks for watching.